There are three things that we need to continue to work and improve as leaders in order to be effective leader. These are fundamental in our evolution as a leader and are true irrespective of where in the leadership ladder we are at. Number one, on our belief system. What we believe has a significant impact on how and what we think is possible. The belief systems are usually subconscious in nature, and most leaders are not aware of their own beliefs and how they affect our thinking and actions. So as leaders, we need to learn how to make that which is invisible visible. We can do this by multiple ways. One, by reflecting on our actions and thoughts and question why we thought and or behaved in a specific way or responded to something in a particular way. This reflection actually helps us identify the underlying belief system. So this intentional observation of our beliefs leads us to understand what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are, what are the potential biases, and potentially remove blind spots. So once we understand ourselves better, we have the ability to shift or change what we believe in and of what we believe about. In a way, beliefs are like an operating system of a computer. They enforce the limits and frames within which the computer can perform, or in our case, within which we can perform. So we need to be intentional about the kinds of beliefs we want based on what we want to achieve. Number two, what we think. So once we are able to be intentional about what we believe in, we need to work on our ability to think better. While this is something that all of us engage in every moment of our lives, none of us are taught how to think well in our formal education systems. It is incidental or is a side effect of what is being taught. So if we want to do well as a leader, we need to develop our ability to move between abstract thinking and practical thinking, between logical thinking and creative thinking, between thinking with emotions and trusting our instincts, between thinking as individuals and thinking as groups, and making sense of whatever we observe and think. We need to be able to think from not only our perspective, but also take the perspectives of others. We need to develop our imagination and think from our imagination out. We need to be able to develop our ability to be curious. We need to develop our ability to ask deeper and more meaningful questions that allows others to think deeply. The ability to know when is it a time to ask questions and when is it a time to give instructions is key. The ability to weigh different options and to know when is it okay to make decisions with incomplete data and when is it a better choice to wait for more data is key as well. Number three, how we act. All our beliefs and thinking is for us to enable us to act, or maybe not. We just need to be intentional about it. When we are intentional about not acting on something, it is also an action that we are taking. As long as that is intentional, it's good. This is probably the one skill that everyone that we lead and who will lead us will see and be able to judge us on. So it is important to get really good at this. This skill is all about how we are able to leverage our belief systems, our ability to make sense, which is how we think, and convert it into clearly defined action items, both for ourselves that we can act on or for our teams, in which case we are able to clearly articulate what we want them to do, why, and show up as a leader based on how best we can add value to them. This requires us to know what we are capable of. This is also about knowing how to work with and within constraints, sometimes real and sometimes made up. This is also requires to have the ability to get people to take action based on our decisions, which is what fundamentally leaders are expected to do. This requires us to know how to create governance structures, know when is it a good time to turn something into a project and whom to staff in the project, and when is it a good time to just do it. We need to know how to design and run practical experiments, which then informs us about the next set of actions. The higher we are in the leadership hierarchy, the more we need to get very good at creating institutional structures with checks and balances, while at the same time allowing enough freedom for our teams to bring their own strengths to play. In conclusion, we will always find that we are drawn towards one of these three skills, which we are naturally good at. However, if we really want to become good leaders, become leaders worth following, we need to be intentional about developing the other two skills and strive to maintain a balance in bringing all these three skills to play according to whatever the situation requires. Think about it. Have fun.